straddles the uke to apply the choke. The tori grips the left collar deeply with his left hand, thumb outside. Straddling the uke, he pushes the uke's left arm to the side with his right hand so that it's at shoulder level. He then twists the uke's head and grabs the right collar, thumb inside, to apply the choke. The tori leans forward, pulling with his left hand and pushing with his right to apply the choke. The uke presses both hands against the tori's elbows and arches his back to defend himself. From kata jujijime to hadakajime. As the tori stands and moves towards the uke's head, the uke sits up and bends his left knee, placing the tip of his foot behind his right knee. His right leg is slightly bent. The tori moves in from toma to chikama, continuing to close in until he's directly behind the uke. He then applies the hadakajime. The tori clasps his hands over the uke's shoulders, palms crossed, and applies the choke. The tori slides his right hand across the uke's right shoulder to press the thumb side of his wrist against the uke's throat. He then grasps his left hand, palms crossed, and presses his right cheek against the uke's left cheek to apply the choke. Clasping his hands together, he applies the choke. The uke tries to defend himself by pulling down on the tori's arm with both hands. The tori draws his left leg back, then right, to break the uke's balance to the rear and apply the choke. The tori releases the uke and returns to chikama to begin okuri erijime. The tori moves up close until he's directly behind the uke and applies the choke. The tori pulls down on the uke's left collar and presses the thumb side of his right wrist against the left side of the uke's neck to grip deep into the left collar. He grips the uke's right collar with his left hand and presses his right cheek against the uke's left cheek. Moving slightly back, he breaks the uke's balance to the rear to choke him. The uke tries to loosen the choke by pulling down on the tori's right arm with both hands. The tori moves in slightly to release the uke and begin the kata hajime. The tori moves behind the uke to apply the kata hajime. The tori grips the uke's left collar deeply with his right hand and slides his left hand under the uke's left arm to press the elbow up high, breaking his balance to the rear. The tori then draws his right foot back, twisting to the right as he slides his left hand under his right arm to apply the choke. The tori slides his left hand under his right arm, fingers extended and the palm facing inwards to apply the choke. The uke grabs the tori's left wrist with his right hand and tries to pull down. From kata hajime to gyaku jujijime. The tori moves to the uke's right while the uke assumes a prone position. The tori moves slightly in and moves the uke's right arm to his left. He moves closer and applies the gyaku jujijime. The tori grabs deep into the uke's left collar with his left hand, thumb outside, and pushes the uke's left arm outwards with his right hand, straddling him. He then takes firm hold of the uke's right collar using a reverse grip so that his arms are crossed. He then pulls with both hands to apply the choke. The uke presses the tori's elbows up with both hands to break the hold. The tori seizes this opportunity to roll onto his left and squeeze the uke's body between his legs, crossing his ankles and pulling with both hands to apply the choke. This is a bad example in which the uke is on top, making it possible for him to stand up and escape the choke. The tori forces the uke on his side to weaken his resistance. The tori releases his hold and returns to chikama and then to toma to stand. And the uke sits up and assumes kyoshi. They both readjust their judogi and proceed to kansetsu waza. This set is comprised of 5 techniques, as shown here. The uke assumes a prone position again. The tori stands up and moves towards the uke's right. He moves slightly closer and applies the udegarami.